for Naomi to allow Ruth and Orpah to see her walk through her pain to the other side of wholeness. And when Ruth didn't allow herself to be offended with her mother pushing her away, and instead of being offended, she pressed in more. She went past the offense. How can you turn me away and I'm your daughter? How can you tell me to go back when all I know is you? Do you not love me? Do you not care for me? She went past that and said, I don't care. You can push me away all you want to, but your God is going to be my God, and your family is going to be my family. Your blood is going to be my blood, and ain't nothing going to tear me away from you but death. I am with you until the death. She was determined. And when Naomi saw that, it broke the wall of division. It broke it. It broke. She still had to walk through her pain because she was still negative and bitter. Because when they reached back and when they came back into Judah, everybody was like, look at that. Welcome back, Naomi. What she say? Don't welcome me back. Because I left out of here full and I'm returning empty. God, she gave the same sad story. God done dealt with me bitterly. I ain't got nothing. My family ain't got nothing. We ain't going to be nothing. We poor. I'm not happy. Don't you know it is the worst to be around a woman that is bitter? Because only negativity and death come from her lips. And it is the opposite of what God has created us for and to be, which is what First Lady was saying, life givers. And to speak into a situation and give it life. Not to walk in denial. That's not what we're saying. We're saying we're going to recognize the issue. Hey, the issue is, guess what? Our provision is dead. All of our men are dead. But guess what? God is going to now be our husband. He's going to be our ish. He will provide. You recognize the issue, and then you speak to it. You don't deny it that it's there. That's insanity. No, we don't preach that. When it broke, and Ruth had to watch her mother-in-law go through depression, Naomi stayed in the house while Ruth went out for work. She went out to help because she saw that her mother-in-law at this point in her life was at the lowest and could not for herself get up. Ruth went out. But when she went, Naomi gave instruction because Ruth was not privy to the culture that she now was thrust into. She was from Moab. She was a Moabitess. She was an idol worshiper. She had no idea of the culture of the people of Israel, God's chosen people. She didn't know how to interact. And so when she began to, Naomi, I'm going to go. I'll go look for work. I can do shit. So then Ruth began to explain, listen, when you go out looking for food, don't you go this way. Don't you go here, because this is the way the culture is. I need you to go and you glean after. You glean after. You pick up the scraps, because then we can gain favor. If you know the right protocol, then you can gain favor. And then they'll allow you in. They'll allow you back. But if you go the wrong way, then we shut down and we're going to die for real, because you done messed up and you have offended somebody. So let me tell you the right way. Even though I'm stuck in my depression, even though I can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel, but since you want to go out, I'm still going to instruct you the right way. Until I come out of this, I'll give it to you. And that's what Naomi did. Naomi had in her womb, she had what Ruth needed, and that was the knowledge and the know-how of how to attract the king. Boaz. As First Lady has written a book, How to Attract the King. Naomi knew exactly how Ruth was to gain the attention of Boaz. Light began to show up in Naomi's eyes, because when Ruth came back and said, look, I've been gleaning here like you said, and they've allowed me to come back, and it's the field of so-and-so. And Naomi said, hold on. That's where you've been going? Oh, come sit a while. Because guess what? That is my kinsman. It's a family member who is very wealthy. And this family member has the power to redeem us from this situation. Even though we are now in the poor state and we are in bondage to death because of the death of our husbands, and we are bound to this life of poverty, there's one that can redeem us. And that's the field that you've been gleaning in. This is what I want you to do. Naomi gave her the instructions. And when you go to Boaz, you lay at his feet. Do not wake him. Do not move. You lay at his feet. Why? Because in the culture, the servant always laid at the master's feet, ready for the instruction. When the master would wake up, they'll be ready to take the instruction and move on. So she didn't go to seduce him. She didn't lay by his side. She didn't walk in there with a little skimpy dress on. No. She went in at his feet. She went in to serve. I've been picking up, I've learned how to serve. I've been gleaning after those who deserve, who had a right. I've come in because I don't have a right here. I have no authority here. I've been picking up scraps and been okay with that. And now my mother has given me the instruction of how to rise above just taking what was given to me. Rise above government assistance. Rise above poverty. Rise above racism. My mother has given me the instruction to get up out of this, to get out of the ghetto, to get out of the projects. You lay at his feet. Father, where's the word? Bring it up for me. Ruth chapter, because now I just drew a blank because I can't think of the next step that she gave. I'm sorry. So find it for me where Naomi told her to lay at his feet. So she laid at his feet in the place of a servant. And when he woke up, he said, "Who? What? He was like, okay. I went to sleep and wasn't nobody there." Now there's a sister girl at what's going on? Then it shall be when he lies down that you shall notice the place where he lies, and you shall go in, uncover his feet, and lie down, and he will tell you what you should do. Hold on. Pause it right there. Pause it for me, please, brother. Pause it. She told Ruth to watch him. You watch. Don't just presumptuously go in because you see him in the field. Hey, Boaz, how you doing? Now, listen, my mother-in-law is Naomi, okay? And this is what happened to us. No. You watch that man. Watch where he go. Watch where he sleep. What does he like to eat? Okay? Where does he want to lay down at? You watch that brother. And when you have an opportunity, when the Lord opens the door, you then lay down. You just don't go brush yourself on up in the, you need to look at me, brother, because no, you don't do that. Don't do that. What did she say? When the Lord, no, she didn't say when the Lord, but that's what I'm saying. When the Lord opens the door and gives the opportunity. Why? Listen, this is very important that we prepare ourselves for opportunity. When the door opens, we want to be ready and not caught unaware. Just like the virgins, they were not prepared. And so they had to go back and get more oil. But when the husbandmen came, they were left because they were not prepared. And the divine appointment for them, for their life, they missed because they weren't ready. When God gives an opportunity, and because we are his, he always prepares us for it. But it takes us to be sensitive to the Holy Spirit, to listen and not walk in disobedience, but obey the instruction that is being given. If Ruth decided she won't go and do all that because, look, I've been gleaning, okay? I've been going over here sweating all day, working in the field from sun up to sundown. I don't want to go watch this man. I don't want to lay at his feet because they stink. No, I'm not doing it. Then guess what? She would have lost her window of opportunity. Her divine appointment had come. Oh, brother, where you go? What happened to us? What was the other scripture? Oh, okay. Lay down and he will tell you what you should do. He will tell you what you should do. We have to be humble. And we have to realize, Ruth, that we don't know it all. Even when we see our mothers walk through times, and if we feel that we know better and what they're doing is not right, we have to remember we don't know it all. But God does. And not to dishonor her because of her decisions. Because guess what? All of us make the wrong decisions when we are wounded. And we are trying to find our way. And we are just grasping for straws. So we cannot judge one another when we see them in their darkest hour. Verse number 5, please. Thank you. And she said to her, all that say to me, I will do. All that you say to me. And Ruth said to Naomi, all that you say to me, I will do it. I gladly take the instruction. Verse number 6, please. And we're coming to a close. So she went down to the threshing floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law instructed her. Number 7. And after Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was cheerful, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of grain, and she came softly, uncovered his feet, and lie down. And it happened at midnight that the man was startled and turned himself, and there a woman was lying at his feet. Verse 9, please. He said, who are you? So she answered, I am Ruth, your maid servant. Take your maid servant under your wing, for you are a close relative. Verse 10. Then he said, blessed are you of the Lord, my daughter, for you have shown me kindness at the end, then at the beginning, and that you did not go after young men, whether poor or rich. Pause it. Pause it, because we're going to backtrack a little bit. Boaz saw that she had been in his field gleaning, and he took notice of her, and he employed her and said, okay, I'm going to allow you to continue, and what I'm going to actually do for you is I'm going to have my employees leave the choice part for you. So she didn't even have to do any work. All she had to do was go and just pick it up, because he told them to leave it. And as Ruth was watching him, he was watching her. He was watching her to see if she would be loyal and not take advantage of his kindness. He was watching her to see if she was just trying to get a quick fix. And anybody who came around, she was going to show the same attention to, so she could hurry up and get herself married and run off. He was looking for her loyalty. He was looking for her character. Was she going to flaunt herself in front of anybody? Or was she a woman of integrity? And that's what he was watching. And that's why he said, now the Lord has given them an opportunity to speak face to face. And she humbled herself to be at his feet and honored him and his authority to lay at his feet. What does the word say? Wherever your feet trod, wherever your feet go, you take dominion. And she honored the authority in Boaz and laid at his feet. Because of that, God turned it all around. Boaz redeemed the whole family, and married Ruth, and she bore a son first. His name was Obed. And because look at this. They went from poverty now to being in more wealth than they could ever even dream of. And all that Naomi thought she had lost now was given back to her, doubled. Because the first child that Ruth had, she gives that baby to Naomi. And they say, this is Naomi's seed. This is Naomi's son, not Ruth's. Obed was not known as being Ruth's child, but Naomi's. And Naomi, in her old age, nursed that baby. God gave her back her life-giving substance to now carry on her legacy, because God is a God of legacy. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He wants to pass it down. And all that was wrapped up in Naomi, he wanted it to pass down into the generation after generation. Why? Because Jesus Christ, the Son of God, came through this lineage right here. Naomi and Ruth are in the line of Jesus. And what sustaining power did he want to flow through that bloodline? Was this right here. Right here. Right here. She had to pass it down. It could not have died within her. God restored her ability to give life and to nourish life. We all not only give it, but we were called to nurture it, to cultivate it, to provide good foundation and soil for it to grow. That's what we do as women. That is the side of the Godhead of the Holy Spirit. The Holy